Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we are going to take a look at pivot tables. Pivot tables give you a fairly easy way to organize your data and group the data in ways to find things like the average, the sum, the count, the number of things that are occurring in your data. Easier just to show you. So what you do to get this pivot table going is you have to select your data. The easiest way here is I'm just going to hold the Shift key. I'm just going to click this A column. Now I'm going to hold the Shift key and I'm going to select B, C, D, E. So basically the columns that you want involved, you select them. And then we go Insert, Pivot Table. It's going to ask us where you want that table. Like, do you want it here off to the side in an existing sheet, or do you want it on a brand new sheet? I'm going to do brand new sheet. And there we go. So notice there's our data sheet. There's the pivot table sheet. Now, the table's empty. Here's what the table can do. We're going to build this up in a few little videos, right, to walk you into it slowly. But we're going to go straight down here to the values and just sort of give you an idea what you can start to do. I'm going to say add a value, and let's say I want to show the average score of all the students. Then I'm going to go score, and you can see here, what about the score do you want to show? Not the sum. That means add them all up. That makes no sense. I want to show the average. And you can see here, I am not seeing all the rows like you saw before when you filtered. Pivot tables are a bit more precise on limiting what you see. You decide what you see, and usually you try to keep it just to the minimum what you want to see there. If I just want to know the average of the entire school in that course, then that's all you do. I want the value to show average of the score. If you also want it to show something else, well, there's other stuff we could do. I could count how many people were in my data set. I could say add, and usually when you count, you want to count something that's unique. And so every line had a unique student ID. So whenever I do my counts, I'm always going to do count the student ID. And I'll show you why after. Count the student ID. Where is it here? Student ID, not the sum. That's adding all their IDs up. I want to count. And for this course, always use count A. Okay? Instead of count. Don't confuse them. Use count A. And you can see it's counting. And it says 525 students. Okay, we're in our sample set. It was around 100 a grade. And so that's sort of right. Now, what else could we do here? Well, you can do things like maximum, average, minimum, the median. You can count them, you can add them up. Those are the key ones that we'll do, right? Don't worry about the other ones. Okay, so that's like a basic idea, okay, of what you can do with your pivot table. Now, it's definitely going to get better. Let's make it better now. I didn't select any rows, right? I left everything else here blank. I was just working with the columns. Well, what rows really means when you're working with a pivot table, it means groups. How do you want to group stuff up? So right now, when I have no rows, it does it for all the data I have. Like all 525 students, it does whatever you put down here. What I want to do now is say, let's do it for each group. Well, what group? Let's go add grade. And what it's going to do, well, just let's look at what it does. What it's going to do, and ignore this top row there, what it's going to do is it's going to do whatever we said down here for each unique grade that it finds. So again, rows, you can think of it in your head as meaning group. I'm grouping the rows by grade. And once they're grouped, then do this. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing the average score for the group of grade 8s and the average score for the group of grade 9s. And same thing with the count of the students. It's telling us the count, but it's doing it for our group. Okay, but they call it rows. And that's pretty good. We're never going to use columns, by the way. And so don't worry about that one. What else could we do here? Let's say we don't want to group it by grade, and you said, I want you to group it by international students. We know that internationals were either 0 or 1. So you can see here that non-international 0, it does it, and it does it. And for internationals, yes, of 1, it does the data, right? That's pretty good. Look at what else you can do. You can add a second grouping. I could add the grade back in there, and just let me drag it above international. That'll look a little more normal. But when you do this, you can see here, and I'm just resizing it so it's a bit easier to read here. You can see what it's done. It's done a group by grade, and then for every grade, it is subgrouped by international. So you can actually see grade 8s, not international, 63 of them, or sorry, 82 of them. That's the count over here. International, 20. Total for grade 8, 102. That's everybody in grade 8, right? If you don't want the internationals anymore, you can take them out. But what you can see here is this gives you a way to start getting data for individual and separate groups inside your data. And so that's pretty good, okay? And it's useful. Now, let me show you a grouping that you would not do. Okay, let me take my groupings off here. A grouping you would not want to do with this data is group it by score. Before I do this, think in your head and predict what this is going to end up looking like. Remember, when it groups, it takes every unique value and that becomes a group. So if I do it with score, every unique score, and there's almost one score of everything, every unique score gets its own little row. And so what it does with the data doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I guess it shows us, a score of 6, 6 people got it. A score of 4, 2 people got it. How many people scored 14? 1. I guess maybe it could be useful, but, it's a little bit of an uglier table, right? Probably something you wouldn't do. So this is the idea between grouping, okay, and how it can show you the data. In the next video, we're going to look at filtering on top of your grouping.